Hey everyone, welcome back to another 31-minute podcast. Jordan.
Good morning.
Morning. Getting a lot of good feedback about you.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I don't know why.
I know.
Let's get straight into it.
Yeah. What do we got today? We actually haven't even spoke about it yet. You
No.
sent me a message this morning. Didn't make a lot of sense.
No.
I thought it was an accident, actually.
It's probably a good one for people your age, I'd say. Oh, it's good for anybody, but good for especially younger people. I wish I knew some of this stuff when I was younger. I think, the more I look at success and things and achievement and whatever else, I think it has little to do. Action is important, but energy, mindset, vibration is more important.
Yeah.
Because without that, you'll burn out. Like without that, you'll get to a point where you'll be like, oh, I'm so exhausted or disconnected and your energy isn't aligned with what you want. Anyway, that's not what I'm talking about today. How you see yourself.
How you see yourself.
Yeah, how you see yourself, you'll become.
I like that.
That's good. Thanks for the tick of approval.
I'll tell you what I thought of just then, which makes me laugh. Remember when you sent me that video and you're like, this is you? And it's like the little lion cub, like, wow, in the mirror. But he sees this huge, big lion.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. That's why it's really, and this is not what the topic's about, but that's why it's really dangerous listening to people's advice. It's so dangerous listening to people's advice because they can't feel your heart. They can only see where you're up to.
Yeah.
And most people are not wired for great achievement. They've got their own thing to work out, let alone give other people advice. And when I say they're not wired for great, everybody has the ability to. But isn't it funny how a lot of people just end up sort of in a rut?
Yeah.
Like they're in a rut, complaining about this, whinging about this, unsatisfied with that, even in a relationship that they just don't like. And they go through this, but they're the best people to give relationship advice, aren't they?
I love that. Like, it's so true. And I was just about to say then, myself at a young age, I'm very lucky to spend a lot of my time with wealthy, successful people that have done great things in industries. And what I've noticed is not a lot of them people actually give advice. And they are the people that probably only have the rights to give advice.
Yeah.
But it's always the person that probably shouldn't be giving advice that seems to be doing it. That's what I've noticed anyway.
It's like when...
It's very hard for me to get advice out of these people because I'm like, well, what should I do here? What should I do there?
Because they understand it's your journey.
Yeah.
Like it's your journey. And they might have tips, and things, but there's two ways to learn: your own experience or other people's experience. So like you can watch somebody and go, whoa, I don't want to do that. Or you can go through life yourself and fall flat on your face 35 times and then go, well, actually the 36th time I might make some changes. But it's sort of a double-edged sword when people give you advice, and this is not about advice, this is actually about how you see yourself. But I think sometimes the people closest to you really know you. And there might be 3 or 4 people in your life like that, but they tend not to give you advice so much. They more say, well, I can sort of see forward a little bit for you here.
Yeah.
And you can, I don't know if that's going to work out exactly, but go for it. I'm here if you fall over. Like they never try and sway you. It's a bit like wealthy people, or when people are wealthy or want to be wealthy. The people who talk about the money the most, they usually don't have what you think they do. But the ones who are just quiet, stealth, do their thing, they're usually the ones with the greatest substance.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't need to prove anything to themselves. So how you see yourself, I think, is critical. And it's a bit like, what are you focused on? Like, are you focused on what you're becoming, or are you focused on where you're at? There's a massive difference, like huge difference. And I'm always trying to, you do get caught up in the moment sometimes, but I always try and lean into, what do I actually see myself as? And then who do I need to become to achieve that and meet that person down there somewhere?
Yeah.
And when you're complaining about something, you're actually complaining about the moment. You're complaining about what's happening right now.
Yeah.
So is there any real use in that? Like the market. I had an interesting conversation with Jamie yesterday.
Yeah.
Jamie Woodcock,
Yep.
business partner.
Yep.
And he said that we were talking about, we talk maybe a couple of times a day, and he was saying that a lot of salespeople are really not scared, but uncertain about the market changing.
Mm.
They're like really uncertain about it. Like they're actually ringing him with a bit of fear in their voice.
Yeah.
But you and I, we're focused on $1 million a month this month.
Yeah. We're increasing.
We're increasing. Yeah.
By a lot.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good example of things can happen or things can change, but I sort of go deeper, not wider. Like I go deeper into, okay, if there's a few less people, the market's amazing, by the way.
Mm.
Like it's phenomenal. You go work in the GFC when that started, that was terrible.
Yeah.
But it's like, I sort of think to myself, well, if there's 7 buyers instead of 20, who are the good ones in that? That's all I focus on.
Yeah.
I don't even really focus on, is the market changed or changing? And like, it's not, people ask me, I say, yeah, it's eased a little bit, but you know, it's a constantly moving thing. Mm. It's like your energy, Jordan, your energy is constantly moving. You said you're a little bit tired this morning, so am I a little bit.
Yeah.
But yesterday could have been firing.
I was firing yesterday.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I saw all the fire when you walk along the street. There was fire behind you. It was amazing. But isn't it funny how you can get so caught up in something that's not even real?
Why do you think people? It happens a lot.
Insecurity.
You think? Mm. Yeah.
Insecurity. That's why.
In what way?
Insecurity around them being able to bit of fakeness in a way. It's like when
they don't have confidence in themselves that they can perform in this market, but also one that's probably not as buoyant.
Yeah, they need to change. It's like you get to this place and then all of a sudden now you've got to change everything. All the momentum that you thought you had is not there now. It's a bit exhausting as well. And then they think, oh, what if I can't replicate it? What if I don't achieve it? They get this self-talk going on.
Yeah.
So how do they see themselves? That was a good question to lead into that. How do they see themselves in that moment?
Yeah.
How do they?
Yeah, they're not confident in themselves. They're worried. It goes back to what we spoke about last week. The emotional scale. They've fallen from everything's great, market's pumping, I'm making great money, check out all my sales, to, oh, well, I might not be operating in this space for much longer, and now I'm in worried, and I'm down that bottom section again. So,
yeah, I remember when I first got to number 1 in Rain and Horn a long time ago, and I remember achieving it, and it was like a big thing for me because it was like it's just me. Like I was like just running around, dropping letters off and all that, and it was just something I really set my mind to. And I remember getting it, and then thinking to myself, I thought that. I was like, how would I do that again? Like, I don't even know if I can. Like, it took so much out of me. Yeah. I was like, I don't even know if I could do that again. But isn't it funny? We just keep building and building and building and building.
Well, look at what did we write a few years back? Was it $4 million or maybe $5 million? And it was probably that was probably one of the hardest years
3.5 or something.
Our lives, I reckon, personally, for me. That was we literally slogged it out to get there. This year we've wrote almost double the numbers, and it's
because you're on fire, David.
Not effortless, but it's been nice.
Momentum.
We've liked each other. It's been fantastic. We've done a great job. Yeah, like totally different. But if we went back to that year and said, all right, in 2 years' time we're going to write $3 more million, we would have went, you're mad.
Well, good point. What do we see ourselves as? Like, so what are we seeing ourselves? How do we see ourselves?
The number 1 team in Australia.
Yeah, that's the number 1 team in Australia, and we want to write 10 in 12 months.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's almost like I'm not anxious around, it's got to happen tomorrow or next year or whatever. It's just more like, it's just going to happen. And I'm like constantly leaning into that vision on that. You know, I wrote a point down before I started this, and what really amazes me is when people go to AA and I've never been. Have you been, Jason?
I've never been.
No, you should go.
I was going to say,
No, but we've all been addicted to something. but they stand up and open the meetings up. I'm an addict. That's how they stand up and open their talk up. Like,
Yeah,
I'm an
really?
addict.
Wow.
What a crock of crap.
Yeah.
You're not an addict. You were just interested in that thing. Like, an addiction is something you're so interested in.
Yeah.
And it gives you something, whether it be good or bad or whatever. And are you seeing yourself as an addict or interested, or because once they get better, I'm a recovering drug addict or I'm an addict or whatever they say. I think they say I'm an addict, don't they?
Yeah.
Do they?
I've never been to one.
I'm pretty sure they do. Well, it's on
Yeah.
the movies anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, but even to like see yourself as that.
Yeah.
I'm an addict. Like
It's not a good.
terminal
It's not a good
thing you've
base.
got
Is it?
going.
It's
No.
not a good place to start from.
No way.
And it's probably. I was just thinking.
I'm a phenomenal focusing machine.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they should be saying.
Yeah.
I'm so good at focusing. I can become addicted to something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just need to move their focus from that to this.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was just thinking about it before when you were saying that. It's almost like when that thought comes into your mind, oh, the market's changing, you can't even let it build momentum. It's like, for you, you're like, I've been through the GFC, I've been through this market, that market. This is nothing.
No, I'm
Like,
pumped
bring
when
it on.
when the market changes.
But once you
I
let that thought...
I actually wanted to change it.
Yeah, well, all of these agents that are just putting it in a for sale sign and getting great prices because there's so many
Yeah.
buyers around will probably struggle.
Yeah.
And it will come down to the people that actually know how to do real estate
Yep.
to shine again. So that's
Yeah.
the good thing about the market moving is good agents shine.
Yeah, they do. They
Yeah.
shine. You can shine in any circumstance. So, like, we're talking about relationships before, and even people who retire and get on the pension and this sort of stuff. Like, it's like, I understand that that's an option that's there, but who was I with the other day? And they were on the pension. They really rely on their pension to live. You know, I don't know how much it is. It's like $400 a week or something.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was watching them and I was thinking, wow, like, this guy was probably 70 something, like late 70s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, isn't it funny that, like, not funny, but isn't it interesting that I wonder how he saw himself?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Like, I wonder how he saw himself in life. Like, did he see that you just go to a job, home, do your thing, get to this age, get the pension, and then...
Well, I hear some people say 8 more years of work and I'm on the pension.
Yeah.
Like it's an exciting thing. So some people actually look at it that way.
Yeah, like they deserve it.
Yeah, like only
Yeah.
8 more years of
I
work
paid tax
now.
all these years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're probably spot on there with, were they thinking that?
But imagine he might be very happy, you know, but he's on his own. I don't think he's super happy, but he doesn't have many people around him or anything like that. And imagine he's changed his vision a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, just to be self-sufficient. I was talking to another lady yesterday who lives up in Matcham. She used to own a radio station, her and her husband, and she was just saying that, you know, she doesn't get anything from the government. She's 80 something. And, you know, she's obviously a very successful couple. Like, her paintings in her house, I don't know how much they're worth, but someone heard that there was these certain type of paintings in there. They're probably worth more than all their houses put together.
Yeah.
But isn't it interesting that people can live the same sort of years in life but have totally different outcomes?
Yeah.
It's and even in real estate, like, there's some people you could work in the same office and someone's writing 10 times the amount as the other person.
Yeah. Same opportunity.
Yeah,
Same
why? Like,
environment.
do they see themselves differently?
Well, let's talk about you
Yeah.
because you're a good example.
It'd be boring conversation.
Well, let's go back 25 years.
Yeah,
What were you thinking
number one.
from the very
I can
beginning?
feel it.
From the very beginning.
Yeah. Or when I first got into it, I was thinking just get myself legal, like just do whatever. But even when I was door knocking at the very, very start, and I was door knocking every day, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I just knew that the more people I spoke to, it's got to lead somewhere. So
did that change over the years? Because I don't know if it was you that told me or it was somewhere I read, but you used to write on a piece of paper, like, was it 5 years or 10 years down the track, the story of how you're like, at 30, I'm going to
I still have
this,
one.
and I'm going. You still have it now.
yeah, it's a like vision. Like, I had so as I learnt different things, I'd implement them. And then, but when I used to put letters in, because Brian Tracy was talking about goal setting and, you know, telling yourself a story, because we're just computers. That's all we are. Like, we're just really high performing computers. You can program your mind to become anything, really.
Yeah.
And I used to just say every letter, I used to put it in a letterbox and say, I will be number one. I will be number one. I will be number one. I will be. I did that for many years, like a number of years, every letter. And that's what I became. So it's, I think it's, if I look back now, and then I learned quite a few years after that, I learned about creating a vision, and writing a story for your life. But it's no different than a movie. Like, we're living in an energetic space that we control the outcome. Like, we're creating the outcome. So today, we haven't started work yet. This is 8:30 in the morning. We're doing a podcast. But today is really just a result of your choices.
So for you and I, like, you knew from the beginning that this was going to be you forever. And for me too, I feel exactly the same. But what about for somebody that's probably not exactly where they want to be right now? Like, so they're not going, in 20 years, I'm going to be this person and I'm just going to, that's all I'm going to think about for the next 20 years. Not a lot of people, they might do different things in chunks.
Jackson's a good example of that.
Like, do you just go, in 2 years' time, this is where I want to be, and then reset again, and then again, and then again? Because you had a really big one, which most people might not have all the time. You went from here to there, and I'm not moving off this path until I get there. But that's when you love what you're doing so much that you know that that's it. But not a lot of people find that straight away.
Yeah, well, I think I really understand what you're saying, but I think you got to lose that a little bit. Yeah, I think it's about being really phenomenal all the time. Like, what I mean by phenomenal is, like, let's say you're a waiter.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about, how do you be the best waiter in that restaurant? There might be 5 of you. And how do you make people so impressed that they want to give you $100 tip?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like a bit of competition with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's the way that's the way I see life now.
Well, you said that on the weekend when we were at dinner. You said, this waiter is the best. Every time I'm here, he takes the greatest care of us.
Yeah.
We give him good
I
tip.
go there
can't remember.
every
Yeah.
few months or something. Not even a few months. Like 6 months ago, I went there. Or when was it, Boxing Day? I don't know, around then. And I walked in and he goes, Matt, Rich. Yeah, like, that's good. That's a good waiter. Like, really, like, not just because of that, but he's attentive, he's there and whatever. But let's say I had a company that was looking for
someone like him.
And I'm like, that guy is impressive. So that opportunity will find you.
Yeah. Well, you've done that.
Yeah.
You've done that over the years. I know a lot of cases where you've pulled people from service industries and said, come and work for me.
Yeah.
And they've done fantastic.
Yeah, that's well, you were just about to leave one day.
I was.
And we said, and I was like, where are you going? What are you doing? And I could see what's in you.
Yeah.
Because you were genuinely, like, trying real hard, swinging haymakers everywhere, trying to become something. But I could see that.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, no, come and work with me. And I think opportunity finds you, not you go out and find it.
Yeah.
Like, you got to put yourself out there a bit, but the opportunity will come, like, as the next impulse or the next person or the next something.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah. And when you become a magnet of awesomeness, because every day you wake up and it's game on, I think that's why your vision will be achieved. Like, that's why how you see yourself. So if you see yourself as full energy, like, not to talk about myself too much at all on this. I like talking about you and other people. But I see myself, by the time I'm 55, to have the best body in Australia for that age. Like, I do. Like, a while ago, I wanted to turn myself into a racehorse, and I sort of did that. But now I'm like in my mind, I'm sculpting, how do I want to look at 55? And, you know, you see lots of middle-aged men, they're not looking too great.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, do they just not have time, or they just whatever? But
Why is that, do you think?
they don't see themselves as that.
Yeah.
Everything relies on how you see yourself.
Yeah.
Like, everything. They might be a phenomenal business person, and they might be worth $200 million, but they could be as unhealthy as hell.
Yeah.
So they see themselves as a high-performing business person, wealthy, whatever, but the other channels in their life, like their fitness or even your marriage. You know, I was married to Jackson's mum. And then I wasn't feeling it properly there for whatever reason. Then I married Shelley and then tried for that. And I've been working my way through this personal relationship side of things. But now I really see what I've never really given that the attention that it needs or the understanding that who I needed to be for that. Because it's not out there, it's in here, everything. So like I can't make Jackson, who's sitting just over here, I can't make him be something to make me happy.
Yeah.
I can't make Tara do something to make me happy. I've got to be awesome, and then the world will align around that.
Yeah.
That's why
Very true.
Yeah, that's why it's like an inside game.
Well, do you think, just while you're talking, is there almost a division in each of the pillars that we talk about?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, every subject of life has a frequency, has a vision. It started by a thought, but then that thought becomes a belief or a vision over time. So it's like, who do you want to be?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to become? I know what you want to become because you tell me every 5 minutes, but I know what you want to become. Like, I understand your level of wealth you want to achieve. I understand the properties you want to buy, but you're creating the best of the opportunity here. Like you're one of those people who can go, you could pretty much go anywhere. You could be there's a hotel across the road here. You can go and be a assistant manager over there and work your way up, and you would do very well. You could go be you sort of were a surfer, and you would be, pro junior and give it a real crack. You're that sort of person, and so you're in here, and it is like a sport. So you're just mastering the sport.
Yeah.
But opportunities are coming. We were talking about shares this morning.
Yeah.
So you've got this thing that you do, because I'm not a real estate agent. It's just what I do.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something that I think can create a fairly good platform for my life to take care of my kids, to allow them to have opportunities and show them and whatever else. But it's like I see you as doing this.
Yeah.
And then all the extensions off of that. So you've got your share portfolio that you're building, you've got your properties, you have 2 now, almost 3.
Yeah.
And then you have, your personal relationship, which is good and not sometimes. No, depends what headspace you're in. No, but it's like you have your personal relationship, you have your family.
Yeah.
And then this is like, you've made the decision to be awesome. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Everything runs off awesome. So the most awesome you get at this, your life is just going to keep building and keep expanding and keep expanding. And this is really just the funnel.
It's
of
the base.
income.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it gives you an interest and you become a bit addicted to it and you like it. So if you're working a job, go back to your question before, let's say you're working in the hotel over there as a bellboy and you didn't really like it. If you bring your best every day, someone's not just going to walk over and give you this, or they may or may not, but give you this great opportunity and then your life's going to change. But what will happen is you're going to start to really think about where can you apply the next lot of awesomeness?
Yeah.
And you might meet someone like Jackson, who's a filmer and photographer, and that might get your interest.
Yeah.
But because you're in the frequency or the space of, I'm doing this, like I'm going to be the best bellboy in the world.
Yeah.
And you see something that gets your attention, and then that actually goes, oh, I'm interested in that. And then you might give that some thought, and then you're like, oh, I'd love to be a photographer.
Yeah.
And then you're going to use this income to buy your first camera. And then you're going to time outside of work, you're going to start taking photos. Can you see how it all links together?
That's the best advice for young people. Just be the best person you possibly can be today, wherever you are with whatever you're doing. An opportunity will find you if you're aware.
The best.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't find you, like as in comes and smacks you in the face, it's also subtle too. But if you're loving it, there's something that happens when you're in a space of like, you genuinely want to be great. Because the formula for great isn't about just owning Amazon and then all of a sudden you're a trillionaire.
Yeah.
Like the formula for great is understanding how to apply it in everything, including your personal relationship, including yourself.
Yeah.
Treating yourself like a great vehicle that you are. Like we look at a Tesla. I saw a Tesla on the video the other day, 0 to 100 in 3 seconds or whatever it was, 1 second. Well, I don't know what it was. It was like, whoa, that's amazing. Like, wow. What about us?
Yeah.
Like we go to bed, close our eyes, go off to some other land, dreaming about stuff, whatever, wake up again, and all of our cells kick in and go, this is all working in synchronicity, so you can see, so you can smell, so you can talk. Like we talk and we move and we can
crazy.
exercise and all this sort of stuff. And we wake up and we go, and we've got a brand new day. The sun comes up.
Yeah.
And we go, you can either have a choice in that moment to go and just kill the thing and see how good you can be, but also treat yourself well, eat well, exercise, stop drinking, stop smoking. Smoking, I just don't understand one bit. But all of this stuff, you know, filling yourself full of drugs on Saturday night and then recovering by Thursday.
Yeah.
You feel all right on Friday and then you go on Saturday, let's go do it again. And you got no money left.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with a few different choices, your life can literally be phenomenal.
Yeah. And once it starts too, just on that, once you start in that path, it's very hard to go backwards because you've just got full momentum.
It does.
Like business is going well, personal things, that you're healthy. So you're not willing to pay the price by like diverting off the path that you're on. So I think it's much easier to, it's just that first bit.
Yeah.
Getting from here to there.
It's,
and then
it's the vision.
Yeah. You're right.
It's the thought and the vision. That's sorry to jump in, but
Yeah.
it's the thought. I didn't want to forget it. It's the thought. It starts there.
Yeah.
We put this success like it's this really hard thing you've got to go knock yourself out to go and achieve. The success is actually the first thought. It's like, wow, okay, I want more. So if you're in real estate, like we are, and we'll talk about real estate because we're in it, but if you want to double your results, double them. What a great thought to have.
Yeah.
I want to double my results. So, and then it's like, okay, let's think about it for a while.
What does it mean? Yeah.
Let's see what comes along. And then we can be like, let's double our results. What does that mean? Who do I need to become? What more is required? What sort of time management do I need? Who else is doing it? Go hang around them. Like go hang around. Every 26-year-old in the country that's selling real estate right now should come and see you. They should ring Jordan and actually catch up with you, because I believe you're probably one of the best 26-year-olds in Australia.
Thank you.
No, I do. I honestly do. Your results are phenomenal. You are an integral part of this team that is firing that hard. It's not funny.
Yeah.
And without any one of us, including you and me and Ash, whatever, that people need to study that. They need to go to you and say, hey, Jordan, should I go out on my own or should I work in part of a team? You have all this perspective,
Yeah.
you know, and you could sort of go, well, this is what I did.
Yeah.
And
This will work for
this
me.
is what's working at the moment.
Yeah.
These are my goals. This is what I want to do. This is who I need to be. They should. What do you think would happen from that one meeting?
They definitely re-energize, a bit more
Re-energize?
direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all I do it all the time, but I'm meeting with people that are a bit ahead of me. It helps me with my vision.
Yeah.
It helps me put all the pieces together.
Yeah. That's why they don't give you advice. Back to your thing about wealthy people. They don't give you advice often. Sometimes I do with my kids.
I don't think they do. If you surround yourself, if I could say one thing that's helped me the most, it's surrounding myself with people further down the track to where I want to go, successful people. And they haven't given me advice, but I've watched and learned what they've done, what they do, how they treat people, how they spend their time. And it's like helped develop me into the person I need to become.
Yeah.
To be there in 5, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years.
Their example is the best teacher.
Yeah, for sure.
There is. So let's wrap this up. So seeing yourself as what you want to become is the first step into achieving the next level. People talk about next level all the time. I want to achieve the next level. What is the next level? The next level is the next level in vibration, really, because once you move your vibration, you attract different things.
Yeah.
So what are you willing to do? And what are you willing to give up? Who do you need to become? But the way you see yourself is your guide. So if I want to become a higher performing Matt, what's required?
Is that a rhtorical question, or are you asking me?
What's required?
Yeah.
You know, I need to think differently. I need to surround myself with I need to find out who's been there. I need to cut out some things in life.
Yeah.
You know, like if I'm overeating, I need to stop. So if I'm overweight, you need to stop eating so much or rubbish. You need to exercise. You
Learn
need to
new things.
That's right. You need to prospect if you're not. You've got to get honest with yourself as well.
Yeah.
There's no point in having this vision and then going, I'll just stay the same. Or I'll just sort of prospect, or I'll just sort of do this. it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to come your way. And then I think it really comes down to how awesome you're going to be. And fear. Let's finish on this one. Let's say you're in a relationship. I see a lot of people who are unhappy in relationships.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Most people.
A lot.
Yeah.
You know, they're out doing all sorts of things behind the other person's back and this and that. We've all been there. So I'm not throwing stones at anybody. But you know what? I'm not prepared to do that. Like, there's nothing beats honesty if you're really happy.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you got to make it happy as well. So like, you got to be honest with yourself, with everyone around you. You've got to be like, if you're in a relationship where you're not happy, yeah, or in a marriage, for instance. So I've been divorced twice, as you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, which is interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, divorced twice. But you know what? I'm probably happier than I've ever been today.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah. I know you are.
Are you?
I've been with you. Yeah. And you know what? Like, once you move through them places and what we're talking about and think about the person that you want to be, and going back to the whole point of this, you grow yourself out of them positions anyway.
You do.
And you become a better person because of it.
Yeah. So thanks for that, John. But fear or cheating, like, and what I mean by cheating is cheating yourself. So if you want to double your results at work, you can't not prospect. You know, if you're in real estate, you can't do 5 calls and expect you're going to be James Tostovan, the best in Australia. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
You've got to do the work.
You've got to be real with yourself. But fear of the unknown will stop you as well. It'll stop you achieving that vision in your head. Was it easy for me to get divorced the second time? It was really expensive. It was hugely emotionally, an emotional upheaval.
Yeah.
Like it was, but I marched through it because I was like, I feel that this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
Not because of anybody else, for myself. You know, and I still have a great relationship with Shelley, and the kids, older kids have come together with the younger kids. Like, my life is really, really good. But
you did have a vision back then.
I did have a vision
of the person that you wanted to become, and how your family looked, and how the business looked, and your friends, and all of that stuff. We talked through it multiple times, and you become it.
I did.
I'm looking at the person we talked about 5 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to make changes as well. So, and it's like, that's what I'm saying about the fear. It's sometimes so easy to stay where you're at. You know what I reckon? That's why people end up on the pension.
Yeah.
I do, because it's easier to stay in a job where you've got this going on. It's guaranteed, but you hate it. Like, you literally hate it. And you bring that hate itself to work every day. Yep. You'll get by. You'll get by, but will you thrive?
Yeah.
Probably not. And sometimes it's not that you need to go, if you're like hating life and then you just got to go off and find something, you got to flip it around a little bit. You got to get comfortable with, I'm here, start becoming amazing, and then don't fear anything. If your vision is saying, or you see yourself as this over here, you got to be brave enough to walk in that direction and just keep walking. And I reckon it's going to happen.